Hello and welcome. You're watching News for Hearing Impaired with me, Munn Bhattacharya, and my colleague Rajni. Let's get started with the headlines. Pakistan's attempts to corner India on Kashmir fall flat at United Nations Security Council as most nations back India's stand. India says action on Article 370 is purely an internal matter. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to leave for Bhutan on a Thursday on a two-day visit, expresses hope that trip will promote time-tested and valued Indo-Bhutan friendship. Situation normal in Jammu and Kashmir a day after Grand Independence Day celebrations. Government offices reopen and administration announces gradual easing of restrictions. Schools to reopen on Monday. Flood situation worsens in several parts of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Situation improves in Kerala. And in cricket, Ravi Shastri becomes Team India's coach again. BCCI Cricket Advisory Committee takes the decision unanimously. Now the news in detail. Pakistan's attempts at cornering India on Kashmir issue at the UNSC failed miserably on Friday when most of the permanent members backed India. After the UNSC closed-door meeting ended, India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Syed Akbaruddin, said that India's position was and still remains that matters related to Article 370 are an internal matter of India, and these have no external ramifications, and that the recent decisions are intended for good governance. He also emphasized that since the change is internal to India, they have not made any difference to India's external orientation, while adding that India remains committed to ensure that the situation in Jammu and Kashmir remains calm and peaceful. Akbaruddin said India is committed to gradually removing all restrictions in Kashmir. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will pay a two-day state visit to Bhutan beginning today at the invitation of Prime Minister of Bhutan, Lotay Tshering. The visit reflects the high priority that the government of India attaches to its relations with Bhutan, India's trusted friend and neighbor. In his pre-departure statement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India and Bhutan enjoy excellent bilateral ties, exemplified by our extensive development partnership, mutually beneficial hydropower cooperation, and strong trade and economic linkages. These are reinforced by a shared spiritual heritage and robust people-to-people ties. Prime Minister Narendra Modi looks forward to having fruitful discussions with His Majesty the King, His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo, and the Prime Minister of Bhutan on the entire gamut of our bilateral relations. He also looked forward to addressing young Bhutanese students at the prestigious Royal University of Bhutan. Prime Minister expressed confidence that his visit will promote a time-tested and valued friendship with Bhutan and consolidate it further for the prosperous future and progress of people of both our countries. 10 MOUs are expected to be inked between the two countries, and PM Modi would inaugurate 5 projects. A special package worth 400 crore rupees as a special trade support facility is likely to be announced to encourage exports from Bhutan to India. India is already Bhutan's largest trading partner. People of Bhutan, especially the youngsters, are very excited about this visit. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary BVR Subramanian has said that 12 out of 22 districts are functioning normally in J&K, with some limited restrictions in 5 districts of the state. He said the restrictions put in place has ensured that there is no loss of life since 5th August, when the special status to J&K was abrogated and the state was bifurcated into 2 union territories. Briefing media in Srinagar yesterday, J&K Chief Secretary said schools and other educational institutions will be opened in Kashmir Valley area by area from Monday, and public transport will be made operational gradually. He said the government offices are functional and telecom connectivity will be gradually restored in a phased manner. The Chief Secretary said there are credible inputs that terrorist organizations like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen are planning attacks in the state. He said that cross-border terrorism required the government to put in place certain preventing steps. He said the government's focus is on the earliest return to normalcy, while ensuring that terrorist forces are given no opportunity to wreak havoc as in the past. The Chief Secretary said that it is the priority of the government to ensure that no civilian casualty takes place. He said that a few preventive detentions of individuals were also made in accordance with provisions of law to maintain law and order. Chief Secretary said preventive detentions are being reviewed and appropriate decisions will be made based on the law and order situation. To give a boost to the agricultural sector, the High Part Committee of Chief Ministers on the Transformation of Indian Agriculture has recommended that Export Development Body EDA should be made the nodal agency for all agri-related export promotions. The committee, which conducted its second meeting on Friday in Mumbai, discussed a wide range of issues including production, marketing, exports, has also suggested amendments to the Essential Commodities Act, saying the regulation will be enforced only in extreme cases. Later, briefing the media, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said there was also unanimity on drafting a market intelligence-based export policy. The Defence Ministry on Friday clarified that there was no proposal to privatize the Ordnance Factory Board. It said the government is considering plans to turn the OFBs into public sector units fully owned by the Defence Ministry. That would come as a relief for workers of ordnance factories across the country who have been agitating against the proposal. There are 41 ordnance factories under the Ministry of Defence all over the country. About 675 products related to the Army, including emission, defence cable, are prepared in these units. Almost 90% of these are supplied to the Army, while the remaining 10% are supplied to other forces. Rain is wreaking havoc in many parts of the country, resulting in misery for people. However, the water level in most affected Maharashtra and Kerala has depleted owing to lesser rainfall in the last 24 hours. Life is limping back to normal in Maharashtra. The situation in most affected areas of Maharashtra, Sangli and Kolhapur is improving as the water level of Panchganga and Krishna has reduced. As compensation is being given to the affected people, vegetables and other basic necessities are being made available. In Kerala, no alert for severe weather has been issued by weathermen for the next few days. In 1994 relief camps across Kerala, 1,58,393 people have been sheltered and 108 people have lost their lives till date because of floods. In Karnataka, the water level has receded. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa met PM Modi in the national capital to apprise him about the flood situation in the state. The CM has estimated the loss of 40,000 crore rupees suffered by the state owing to the floods and incessant rain. Waters in the state are left ravaged by the floods. People in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan are facing the wrath of rain gods as they face heavy rainfall. Rescue and relief teams are helping people reach safer areas. Water from Kali Sindh River in Jhalawar in Rajasthan has begun to accumulate in the homes of people. In Andhra Pradesh, due to water released by Prakasham Dam, areas near the river banks in Krishna and Vijayawada districts are facing increased water levels. The situation is under constant observation as high alert has been sounded in these areas. The Central Board of Secondary Education will conduct the 13th edition of the Central Teacher Eligibility Test on 8th December. The CBSE in a statement said that the test will be conducted in 20 languages in 110 cities across the country. An information bulletin containing details of the examination, syllabus, languages, eligibility criteria, examination fee, examination cities and important dates will be available on CTET's official website on the 19th of August. The aspiring candidates will have to apply online only from 19th August. The last date for submitting online application is 18th September and fee can be paid up to 23rd September till 3:30 p.m. Continuing with its proven reputation of undertaking challenging mountaineering expeditions, soldiers of the Always First Battalion, the Ladakh Scouts Regiment of the Indian Army, embarked on yet another expedition to summit the daunting Momostong Kangri Peak in the Ladakh sector. Located at an altitude of 7,516 meters, Momostong Kangri is the highest peak in the remote Remo Mustag, a sub-range of the Karakoram Ranges. Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi, General Officer Commanding Fire and Fury Corps, flagged off the expedition from Leh on Friday. The expedition team, comprising 22 members, composed of experienced mountaineers with vast experience of various expeditions. The team has undergone 3 weeks of arduous physical and technical training under the guidance of able instructors prior to launch of the expedition for Mount Momostong Kangri, the 47th highest independent peak in the world. Incumbent Ravi Shastri will continue his role as Team India head coach after the 3-member cricket advisory committee comprising Kapil Dev, Anshuman Gaikwad and Ishanta Rangaswamy gave his candidature a nod on Friday at the BCCI headquarters in Mumbai. Ravi Shastri, who had the public backing of captain Virat Kohli even before the shortlisting was initiated, has been reappointed for a 2-year period ending with the 2021 T20 World Cup in India. The 3-member CAC also comprised former India coach Anshuman Gaikwad and ex-women's captain Shanta Rangaswamy. This will be Shastri's 4th stint with the national team, having served briefly as the cricket manager during the 2007 tour of Bangladesh, team director between 2014 and 2016, and head coach between 2017 and 2019. Ravi Shastri pipped former New Zealand coach Mike Hesson, Australian Tom Moody and former India teammates Robin Singh and Lalchand Rajput to the post. Former West Indies and Afghanistan coach Phil Simmons pulled out of the race, citing personal reasons. India have won 11 out of 21 tests, 43 out of 60 ODIs and 25 T20 internationals out of 36 on his watch. That's it then in this edition of News for Hearing Impaired. Rajni and I take your leave. Thanks for watching.